Hey, welcome. Today we're diving into something really important: what to do when you encounter law enforcement, especially in the charged atmosphere of a protest. Now, these moments can be super stressful, but honestly, knowing your rights and having a game plan can change everything. It's all about protecting yourself, both on the street and legally. So let's get right into it.
And just a quick heads up, this is part 3 of our bigger 5-part series on protest safety. Today, we're really zeroing in on those police encounters, which, let's be real, is a huge piece of the puzzle. So whether you've been following along or are just jumping in now, you're in exactly the right place.
All right, Section 1, your strategy for safety. Look, our goal here isn't to just throw a list of rights at you. It's to give you a clear, step-by-step strategy. We want to help you turn that feeling of uncertainty, maybe even fear, into a feeling of preparation and confidence. That's how you stay safe while making your voice heard.
So here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll talk about the one question that sets the tone for the entire interaction. Then, we'll get into what I like to call your constitutional shield, the rights you need to know. We'll cover de-escalation, how to handle police orders, and then crucially, how to set up your legal support plan before you even head out. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with the key takeaway.
Okay, Section 2, the first critical question. You know, literally every single interaction you might have with an officer comes down to this one pivotal question. The answer you get clarifies everything and tells you exactly what you can and can't do in that moment. And this is it. Am I free to leave? This is the golden question. It's simple. It's not confrontational, but it forces the officer to define the situation right then and there. It cuts through any gray area and tells you what your next move needs to be.
The answer to that question immediately puts you on one of two paths. If they say yes, you're good. You don't have to say anything else. Just calmly turn and walk away. But if the answer is no, then you are officially being detained. Your first move? Stay calm. Your second? Ask, why am I being detained?
Section 3, your constitutional shield. Okay, so you've just been told you are not free to leave. This is the moment. This is when you need to raise your constitutional shield. It's really just a couple of key phrases that you need to be ready to say clearly and calmly.
This is your first and most important line of defense, and you have to actually say it out loud. I am exercising my right to remain silent. Just staying quiet might not be enough legally. When you say the words, you're invoking a powerful protection. Remember, your silence can't be held against you, but anything you say, oh yeah, that absolutely can be.
Now, you got to understand, police might try to get you to talk. They might say things like, if you're innocent, why won't you talk to us? That's a tactic, plain and simple. It does not mean you look guilty. You do not have to answer questions about the protest, who you're with, or what you believe. Just stay firm. If you have to, repeat the phrase. And here's your second line of defense, and it is just as powerful. I want to speak with my attorney. The second you say these words, legally, all questioning has to stop. Full stop.
And this is a huge deal. They have to stop questioning you. Don't sign anything, don't agree to anything, don't make any decisions until you've talked to a lawyer. And it's so important to remember this. These rights protect everybody in the United States. It doesn't matter what your citizenship status is.
Okay, Section 4, de-escalation and police orders. So knowing your rights, that's half the battle. The other half is all about how you carry yourself, your actions, your tone of voice. They can have a massive impact on your safety. This is all about you controlling the interaction as best you can.
Think of this as your de-escalation checklist. First, always keep your hands where officers can see them. Use a calm, even tone, no yelling. If you need to reach for your wallet or phone, say what you're doing first. I am slowly reaching into my back pocket for my ID. Absolutely no physical contact. And remember, the goal here isn't to win an argument on the street. The goal is to get home safely.
This chart is a super handy guide for some common scenarios. If police give a dispersal order, they have to give you a way out. So ask, which way, and then go that way. If you're being arrested, the most important thing is to not physically resist. You state clearly, I will not resist, and then you immediately go silent. And what if an officer asks to search your stuff? You have to say the magic words, I do not consent to this search.
All right, Section 5, your legal support plan. Honestly, the best time to deal with a legal issue from a protest is before you even leave your house. You need to build your own personal safety net.
And this part is so simple, but it's so critical. Before you go, look up the numbers for local legal support groups. Think National Lawyers Guild or the ACLU and your local bail fund. Put them in your phone for sure, but here's the real pro tip. Write those numbers on your arm or your leg in permanent marker. Seriously, if your phone gets taken, you still have your lifeline.
Now, after any kind of police interaction, whether you're just spoken to or actually detained, there is one single thing you need to do that is more important than anything else. Just one.
And that one thing is this: document everything. The second you are somewhere safe, write it all down. Get officer names, badge numbers if you possibly can, the time, the location, what they said, what you said, who else saw it. If you have any injuries, take pictures. This detailed record is absolutely vital if you need to file a complaint or take legal action later.
Section 6. Key takeaways. So let's pull all of this together. When you boil it all down, everything we've talked about today comes back to one central idea. In these situations, knowledge is your protection.
At the end of the day, it's not about being loud or trying to outsmart anyone. It's about being calm, being prepared, and knowing your rights inside and out. That combination is truly your most powerful tool for navigating a stressful encounter and staying safe.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Knowing your rights is the first step, right? But are you prepared to actually use them calmly and consistently when the pressure's on? So maybe practice saying those key phrases out loud. Run through these scenarios in your head, because that preparation, that's what really makes the difference. Thanks for tuning in.